In today's lesson, we're going to review the coordinate system for graphs, how to plot points, and how to graph lines. So let's start by taking a look at the coordinate system. The coordinate system consists of two axes. The one that goes up and down is called the y-axis, and a good way to remember it is to think about the y as having a tail that points up and down, just like the axis itself points up and down. And we have a horizontal axis called the x-axis, and a good way to remember that is to think about the x as being a cross, and the line that it labels is actually going across. So it's a cross labeling across. The two lines meet in the middle in what's called the origin, and all of the points that are on this graph are called ordered pairs. So an ordered pair is a point on the graph that's labeled x, y. We list our ordered pair alphabetically, x before y, just like it is in the alphabet. So the graph is also broken down into quadrants. Starting in the upper right-hand corner, we have quadrant 1, where all of the ordered pairs, x and y values, are positive. From there, we move counterclockwise to quadrant 2, where your x's are negative, y's are positive, followed by quadrant 3, where x and y are both negative, and finally quadrant 4, where the x's are positive, the y's are negative. This gives us all the information that we need to be able to plot any points on the graph. So for example, say we wanted to plot the point negative 1, 5. The x value is negative 1, the y value is 5. We simply start at the origin, go to the left 1, and go up 5. And make a point. Another example, x is 3, y is negative 4. Starting at the origin, we go over 3, down 4, which leaves us somewhere around there. Obviously on graph paper this will be a little bit easier to see. One more example. Positive 1, positive 3, starting at the origin, over 1, up 3, make a point. The reason why it's important for us to be able to plot points is because in order to graph lines, we need to have 2 points. You need at least 2 points to connect a line, connecting it with a ruler. So, we might be given a line that looks like this. First of all, we know it's a line because it has 2 variables and their exponents are both invisible ones. So we can't have anything with an exponent higher than 1 in order to have a line. The easiest way for us to graph lines is to get our line into what's called slope-intercept form. And this should be review from previous math classes that you've had. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m stands for the slope and b stands for the intercept, the y-intercept. So, any problem that we're given, we're going to go ahead and solve for y so that we have it in slope-intercept form. So in our example, in order to get y alone, we add x to both sides. And we end up with y equals x plus 3. So, there's a couple of ways that we can find points from here. One way that we're going to do for right now is to use what's called a t-chart. In a t-chart, the x variable stands for our independent variable. It means that we can choose anything we want to go into the x column. And then whatever we choose for x is going to determine what comes out for y. So x is like our input, y is like our output. So for example, I might use 0 for x. I'm usually going to start with lower numbers to make it easier to graph. If x is 0, I simply plug that in, 0 plus 3, to get my y value of 3. So now I have the point on the line 0, 3. Again, I need 2 points in order to make a line. So suppose x is 1. Plugging it in, I have 1 plus 3 equals 4. So now I have 2 points for my line, the point 0, 3 and the point 1, 4. And I can go ahead and graph those. So again, you guys are going to use graph paper and a ruler. That'll make this easier. But my sketch will look something like this. Pretty close to the points. And that is a quick review about how to graph points and lines.